great audience. Thanks for all your attention.
As some are leaving.
I thought before, I've been asked many times to sing, of course.
Oh, that wasn't a joke.
But if you'll keep doing that, I appreciate it. But before we kind of got into, I did write my sister Gale a very special song. Brenda called me about 2 weeks ago and said, "Hey, we're having a surprise birthday for Gale. Be funny." And so this is my attempt at being funny. But I thought before we would kind of get into our song that we would kind of go down memory lane for the past 50 years. Before I do this, Gale, know I love you. And if it's not good, it was all Brenda's idea. All right. I'm so thrilled to be able to be in front of everyone here and talk about one of all of our favorite persons. And of course, I'm really talking about myself. But I'd like to talk about how Gale's 50th birthday has affected me and the rest of us personally. So Gooch, 50 years. By the way, it's weird, you can't see it. I thought we could go down memory lane over the past 50 years and see how far we've come. So let's start in 1966, a big year. How the Grinch Stole Christmas aired for the first time. New popular songs included I'm a Believer, Good Vibrations, Monday, Monday, and Wild Thing. And Rita Gale Howell was adopted. Born. We really don't have many pictures of Gale as a newborn. I don't know why that is, but for some reason that just kind of took place. But of course, 1966 was a very good year. So we're going to fast forward 10 years to 1976. Apple Computers started that year. Top movies were Rocky, Taxi Driver, and The Outlaw Josie Wales. Around this time, Gale started her lifetime love affair with bad eyesight. That explains Tim. But we'll get to him a little bit later. Her mother got remarried, and in 2 more years, she had gained another sibling and moved to Haralson County. New glasses, new stepdad, new little brother, and a 100-year-old house with 1 bathroom for 7 people. Life, Gale was living the dream around this time. All right, so we're out of that decade, thank goodness. So let's go to the new decade, 1986. By the 80s, of course, Gale's kind of coming into her own, and what a decade for our birthday girls there. Top Gun came out in 1986. Gooch got to drive all the classic cars of that era. A Dodge Omni, a Plymouth Colt, and a Vet, a Chevette. Big hair, members-only jackets, and long-sleeve collared Coca-Cola polos were all statements that Gale proudly wore all throughout the 80s. She was looking good, as you can tell in her picture. My first experience, I remember kind of with Gale, was running out of gas, coasting into a gas station, and using the change we found in the floorboard to pay for said gas to get home. Of course, with all these attributes, Gooch started to gather attention from the opposite sex. And as she started to find dates, of course, where we all probably found some of our first romances, family get-together. So that's happened to y'all too. Glad to know we're not alone. That's right, she started dating Tim. But not many people can say that their sister married their first cousin. Literally, it's like illegal in 48 states. I am the only person I know whose when sister got married, she finally got the same last name as I did. It's usually reversed. Tim and Gale got married in 1987, and I believe, is that correct? Gale was 21? Was 21 years old, 21. A few years later, the loves of her life were born, of course, her girls, and we all know how she feels about the girls. Of course, as you all know, I am really more blood kin to her girls than either her or Tim. was Uncle Pawpaw to them for a long time. I don't really know. Y'all know how difficult this is to explain to people. When I first started working in Haralson County, they go, "Oh, Coach Brown is your brother." No. He's not my brother. Well, how is she your sister with the last name? Oh, she just married a different Brown. Yeah, that's right. Totally different. Of course, 1996 came. The Olympics came to Atlanta. Music legends like the Spice Girls were in their prime. Gale was a mother of 3. Tim, deciding not to try to populate the earth just to have a boy, said 3 is enough. Gale was 30 years old now. She was a housewife and she kept children at her own home. Amen. But she always had this dream. Once her children was old enough to go to school, she wanted to teach. She was having she had a accounting degree, and she went back to school to get her teaching degree and entered the magical and lucrative world of public education. And of course, she was fortunate enough to get a job at the math capital of the world, Haralson County High School. And as the girl settled, her career taking off, money pouring in, Gale is ready for a harvest season of the next decade. So let's go to that decade. 2006, Beyonce becomes the top entertainer. Facebook is just taking off. Nintendo releases the Wii. And the universe is rocked to find out that Pluto, for some reason, is no longer a planet. Gale turns 40. She starts Weight Watchers, and about this time loses about, well, I'm really not that good at determining. Her girls are entering high school. Teenagers, a joyous and relaxing time for any parent's life. So let's fast forward. Now we're in 2016. The entertainment world is producing such classics as Pokemon Go, YouTube celebrities. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are our 2 choices for president. We've come a long way in 50 years. And Gale has turned. She is a grandmother now. And although she has not had the perfect life, she has been as close to the perfect sister I think you can get to.
That's right.
Raise your hand if you've ever been babysitted or Gale has babysitted for you to have a night out. Go ahead and raise your hand. Thank you very much. Put your hand down. Raise your hand if she's ever either tutored you in math or in life. Go ahead and raise your hand there. Raise your hand if she has ever fixed you a meal or drove you to an appointment. Raise your hand there. You see, every now and then, Gale would actually call me and Barbara, and she'd go, "Hey, I fixed too much of this. Do you want to come by and pick some up?" And of course, I always said yes. Oftentimes, I'd call and ask her if she'd watch my 4 children, and with no hesitation, Gale would say yes and make them feel welcome as soon as they walked in the door. Raise your hand if she's ever done that for you again. Raise your hand if she's ever watched your kids, all that kind of stuff. Amazing. So if your life is better because Rita, Gale, Howell Brown has been a part of it, let's stand right now and give her a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Now that was the funny part.